Buddy, it is Soul Freak and Bink Sonic. We are coming to you today with a meditation to help everybody begin to accept their truth. There's a lot going on in the world right now. We are inundated with a lot of natural disasters or unnatural disasters. I guess it all depends on how you look at it. So we are going to be utilizing the flames of destruction that are ripping through California right now, through the Pacific Palisades, through Hollywood, and hopefully that's where it will end. But I think it's really important right now for us to begin to really get honest with ourselves, to really be brave enough to look at our shadows, to take a look in the mirror. So this is going to be a really beautiful and very deep meditation. I'm going to try to keep this general so that you can use it multiple times and work through different situations and different relationships in your life that you might be struggling with or that are changing for you, because almost everything about our lives is changing right now. So we have to be brave enough to walk through this together. I promise you, by facing these things, we will become so much stronger and so much more unified, and we will become free. We're getting close, all right? Hang in there. All right, here we go. So we're just going to begin to open up a safe and sacred space wherever you are across the globe. Wherever you're seated or lying down or standing, you are invited now to begin to intend for yourself to open a safe and sacred space around you, within you. Beginning to allow the breath to soothe and quiet. Beginning to allow the body to relax. Taking inventory of any places within you that may not be feeling so great, that may be tight or holding density or pain. And we call into this safe and sacred space only the guidance of the highest self, of the godlike essence of whatever it is that you identify with as your entire being, the highest form of the self, the most omniscient form of the self. The same energy that we often call God or guides or guardians is really our very own energy being reflected into other forms that make us feel safe and guided. And today, as we tap into that sacred rage that is coming through the fires in California, that is coming through the solar flares of the sun, we invite the element of fire to come into our space now. You'll feel this as tingling in the legs. You will feel this as almost a prickly sense as the cellular body begins to prepare to release and purify all that is not serving it, as the body and the mind and the heart and the soul prepare to face their truth. I want you to find yourself through your mind's eye. I want you to find yourself gently walking in this complete darkness with only a single light, a soft and soothing light above you that is illuminating your figure, your form. And we are walking in complete darkness at the moment. And we may realize that we begin to feel a little bit of unease welling up in the stomach, maybe a lump in the throat. And I want you to know that these are all good signs. It means that the body is preparing to release and to receive. There is no time left to hide. There is no time left to be a prisoner of our fears, of what we perceive to be our limitations. And we are here to walk through this with you now. Feel our energy in that darkness with you. And it is okay to feel a little bit afraid right now. It is okay to be hesitant in this moment, but you must keep walking. And behind you now, you begin to sense that these natural and unnatural disasters, that all of this news of unidentified flying objects and this news of the mistreatment of humans, of fire, of hurricanes, of earthquakes, of tsunamis, of political affiliations, of the changing of the tides, of the United States government and governments all over the world as they begin to shift into a new way of being. Remembering in this moment that it is completely normal to feel static within the being we are about to embark upon, a journey so great, a journey so deserved, a journey that is sure to uplift and heal and hold you in highest reverence. But first we must accept where we're at and release what cannot remain. So as you walk down this dark corridor, behind you, you sense all of these disasters. You sense that fire. And no matter what point of view, no matter what your perspective is on what is happening in the world, we are all still connected. They are all still valid. And we will begin to realize that most of our perceptions are based in a fearful way from what we have known of the past, from the experiences we have gathered here. And I want you to know in this moment that is changing. So as you begin to walk, and there's a fog beginning to form around you, and through that fog, you begin to walk towards dim lights that you can see through the fog. And these lights form a doorway. And you begin to realize that as you are walking towards these lights, that this is a doorway to the heart space. This is a doorway to the voice of truth. This is a doorway to the understanding and the inner standing of all that we are. This is a doorway of freedom. And though it may seem dark in this moment, you are about to receive divine clarity. These lights in the fog, as you continue to walk, slowly become clearer and clearer. And you find yourself face to face with this doorway. And everyone's doorway to their heart will look a little different. Take a moment now to feel to see with the mind's eye. What does your doorway to your heart in this moment look like? Is it unlocked? Is it already cracked open and waiting for you? Is it wide open? Is it covered in chains and vines? Is it armored? There is no wrong answer. What does your door look like? Very good. Acknowledge what your door looks like. Sink the breath a little bit deeper into the stomach now. Sink the breath deeper into the heart space now, as we prepare to enter into this space of truth. And while this may feel a little bit ominous, I'm asking you to trust yourself that what lies ahead, through the fog, through the darkness, what lies on the other side of that truth is all that you have ever wanted or needed. It is time for us to walk this path together. Bravery of 1,000 men and women. Unlock, step through, open that door. Take a moment to get your bearings as you enter that doorway, and you may have your eyes, even your internal eyes may be closed at the moment. And I want you to see through the soul's eyes as you begin to enter this space. You find yourself surrounded by mirrors. And these mirrors might be tall, they might be short, and they might be round, and they might be square. They might be shattered, they might be whole, they might be foggy. Take a moment to look around this chamber of truth within the heart. Chamber of mirrors. Remembering that you have control over the lighting and the feeling of this space. And the way that you are feeling in this moment is a direct reflection of how you regard yourself in general. If you are finding yourself feeling fearful, if you are finding yourself feeling alone, if you are finding yourself feeling hesitant, now is the time to shift it with us. I want you to go to one specific mirror in this room that only you will know which one is perfect. And I want you to approach this mirror now. And as you walk forth towards this mirror, naturally you can envision your own self. Initially, the physical self, the one we see in the mirror each day. The body, the flesh, the eyes, the smile. And with a breath of fresh air, a deep breath from way down within the belly, I want you to blow into that mirror and blow away that image of yourself like ash blowing through the breeze from these fires as this structure that you call your physical form, that you think you are, that you are so tied to, that you are so attached to, that vision in the mirror that stops you from understanding who and what you truly are. That sacred breath from within blows that image away in a flume and a plume of ashes. I want you to bring your attention now to situations or relationships within your life, within yourself. You can choose one in particular right now, or if you are able, you can choose several. Wherever you are in your journey is perfect. Choose something that is painful for you. Choose something you are struggling with, whether that be the way you perceive yourself, the way you perceive your relationships, your career, your health, your way of being. And I want you to bring that into focus in that mirror now, seeing it in the mirror, staring directly at it, at it, at it. Making eye contact with the entire situation. Even if it is not a person, you can still create contact. It is all living. And I want you now to focus your intention on surrendering to this journey into the truth of the situation, into the truth that this mirror is reflecting back unto you, into the truth of the situation, the relationship, the person, place, or the thing that is in that mirror that you are ready to face right now. And I want you to gather the courage in your chest and in your belly. And on the count of 3, you are stepping into that mirror and you are going on the journey of truth. And we are allowing whatever comes into our hearts, whatever comes into the mind, we are ready to face it. We are ready to let the tears flow. We are ready to let the anger, the cries out. We are ready to receive peace. But first we must release, and we must embrace the truth that is not only in the situation and the things involved in it, but also the truth about ourselves that is allowing these types of situations and relationships to limit our divine authenticity. On the count of 3, here we go. Staring directly at that situation, that person, that place, that thing. 1, 2, 3. Step through the mirror and allow yourself to fall. There you go. Very much like Alice in her Wonderland. When she begins to float and fall down through that tree, through the keyholes, through the mouth of that door, she begins to fall. Let yourself fall. Enjoy your journey. Yourself from the eyes and the heart of others that are involved in this healing. That's right. That's right. If you were not you, what guidance would you give yourself if you were not you? Stubbornness, face the negative attitude, face the limited beliefs that you have running actively around and through the situation. In what ways living differently? In what ways could you retrieve your power from these ill situations? In what ways could we lead with kindness and compassion? In what ways could we better lead through the heart? In what ways could we be kinder to ourselves? In what ways could we be love? In what ways could we be love? In what ways could we be love? Face it, 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 face it. Now bring fire, bring the fire, bring the fire in, the purifying flames of devastation as you begin to feel the old way of being and thinking, the ways that you thought were true, the ways that you were stagnating your own growth, inhibiting your own expansion, as you feared your own truth, your greatness, your divinity. That's right. Let these flames begin to engulf your heart space, all different colored flames of the great holy fire of the violet flame. That's right, that's right, that's right, that's right. Yes, allow this fire to well up deep within the chest. Allow it to push forth the tears and the sorrow, the anger and the judgment, the regret and the resentment, the rejection. Allow it to push out from you all of the negative ways that you feed these loops through your mind, and you try to justify why you are correct and someone else is wrong, why your way of being is somehow better than someone else's. Clearing all of that clutter, that chaos, that noise of the heart, all of that unfairness, that judgment, that sacred rage wells up within the womb space, wells up from the hips and the tailbone, wells up in the gut and the lungs and the spinal cord, wells up in the heart and the shoulders and the throat. It begins to flame. It begins to inflame and enrage now up into the mouth and the ears, completely engulfing the head in flames, completely engulfing the arms and the legs, the entire body, the entire being in sacred purifying flames. Let the tears fall. Let the screams cry forth from your throats. That's right, releasing, revealing the truth of all the ways in which you pulled yourself back. In all the ways you have convinced yourself that the situations around you are causing you to be a victim. All the ways that you blame others for your place in life are vanishing before your very eyes. They are vanishing with each flicker of these sacred flames. burn and soothe through the stubborn hatred of a closed heart, of an ignorant mind. We all have parts of that need to resolve. Let it be. Let it be. Of an outdated ego, those old structures of the lies that you once told yourself, the old structures that did not show compassion for all situations, all people, all things, all beings, to the victim that once was you. And gratitude to this pile of ashes, taking responsibility and acknowledging the angry words, the angry thoughts, the sacred rage that held us within these limitations, seeing them all now as piles of ashes on the ground around you. Feeling yourself in this new space. It might feel foreign. You might even be a little scared. It's only because you've just made space for a type of joy that you have never experienced yet. In this breath we trust. In this moment we trust. And we begin to rebuild ourselves energetically and the situations in this mirror image of us, this reflection of who we once were is now rebuilding as a reflection of who we are moving forward. And we begin to paint with a different palette of colors as we reapproach the situation. And we do not paint it this time with hatred or fear, or lack or suffering or punishment or sadness or blame or shame or guilt, brokenheartedness or betrayal. We paint this with a different palette of peaceful colors, acknowledging the lesson and suddenly, instantly knowing why we chose to reflect that back to ourselves in the first place. Suddenly able to see the big picture, the peaceful picture of why you would create those situations, and what your soul needed to learn. Beginning to picture yourself as a beautiful phoenix beginning to birth itself from these ashes, seeing the situation around you beginning to rebirth itself from these ashes. And this phoenix is the color of peace. It is white and blue and purple, pastel, soft and soothing colors, flowing like the waters that flow through each and every part of your being, as the water element that you are. Allow yourself now, and allow the situation now to take shape in your mind as the transformation of the water phoenix, of blue and purple and white flames, rising swiftly and easily above that old situation, that old story that has been burnt to the ground and purified, made new again. Through the eyes, through the heart, through the knowing, through the wisdom, through the sacred knowledge of the divine. And see yourself now flying easily and swiftly, circling above that old situation, dripping tears of peace, tears of comfort and gratitude. Swiftly away from the old, turning your gaze back to your heart space as you begin to approach the mirror entrance back into your very own heart. Noticing now that the mirror is repaired, the mirror is clear, the mirror is loving and compassionate and peaceful. Seeing yourself on the other side of that mirror in a new light, fresh and peaceful colors. Seeing yourself adorned with the wisdom and the knowledge of your highest form of being. Very gently and easily now, enter back through the mirror. compassion, of higher thinking, of expanded knowledge, fresh, loving, wise. I invite you to land that beautiful phoenix in the heart center, in the throat center, into each part of your being where the old stories are held. Allow that beautiful phoenix to fly through each part of the body, dropping tears of relief, dropping tears of peace, tears of surrender, tears of unconditional love. Allowing that beautiful phoenix to take rest, nestle into the throat, into the heart, right into that chest area, allowing the energy of that water, peaceful phoenix to integrate into your being. Yes. Just noticing now how the breath gently moves through the body, how the tension is gone, how the sadness and the fear and the hatred ceases to exist. Notice now you are ready to move past, and that you have moved past these situations, and you have made space for the new. Very good. Visualizing that beautiful energy traveling deep into the tissues and the bones, rewriting the stories of limitation, rewriting the stories of fear and judgment, rewriting the stories of the old world into something new, beautiful, compassionate, loving, limitless, trusting, innocent, free. Carry this memory with you whenever you find yourself struggling in the face of a situation or a person that you find difficult. Revisit the space. Thank you. All right, guys, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed that. Use that over and over and over again with different situations in your life. All right? We love you guys.